Hi, you guys. Lady ReShell here, author of Take Charge of Cancer, the founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. This is your 31 days, 31 facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this is day 4. And tonight we're going to talk about how important your support system is to you and vital to you and your survival as it relates to cancer. So join me. All right, you're joining me for the 31 days, 31 facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And tonight we're going to talk about your support system is vital. It's so vital to your survival of cancer. Just to have those people that's really important to you in your corner. So let's talk about tonight why, excuse me, why your support system is vital. So first of all, the first thing you need to do is you need to form a team. You need to, when you get diagnosed with cancer, you need to start selecting your team. Okay. Start selecting your team. Whatever that looks like for you, select your team, because these are going to be the people when you can't or when you don't feel like doing anything, they're going to be the ones that's going to be there for you. So I would tell you to select your team, get the people around you that you know is going to hold you accountable when you don't feel like doing anything. So you want to select your team. You don't have to select them based on they've been in my life for a long time, or you owe them something, but you want the people that are going to really go to bat for you and be there for you no matter what, no matter how it's looking, no matter how you're looking, that they're going to be there for you. So the first thing I encourage you to do is to select a team, get your support system around you, and those are going to be the people that are going to stick with you throughout the duration of your cancer. So you need to be honest with these people, right? You need to be honest with these people. They may be friends or family members. You need to be honest with them and tell them about your diagnosis and tell them about your treatment, because the only way that they're going to be able to help you and be able to advocate for you is they're going to have to know what's happening, right? So you got to be honest with them and tell them exactly what's going on. And this is the thing. You don't have to keep repeating yourself about what you're going through. These people are going to be the ones that's going to help you to get that information out to other people. So when you tell your family and friends, those people who are supporting you, what you're going through, then they're going to be the ones, you designate them to be the ones to funnel out the information to other people, so that you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and over every time somebody say, oh, I heard you have cancer, or they calling you or they texting you. Those people are going to be there to make sure that they intercept those phone calls, so that they won't be, it's stressful, because we know people will tell you or they will say the darndest thing, right? So Leah say, yes, that support system, your support system, trust me, they are going to really be there for you. They're going to save you a lot of headaches. So you want to make sure that you're selecting some people who is not going to allow people to push them over. If you say, no, I don't want this information to get out, then they're going to make sure that they're going to hold on to that information until you say release it. You need some people that you can trust. So tell them what you're going through. Tell them exactly how you're feeling, so that they can be sensitive to your needs and your thoughts. You have to tell them, I got to go through chemo. I'm really not feeling chemo. I really don't want to go through chemo. I'm scared. I feel like I'm gonna die if I go through chemo. Like, they need to know this. You need to get that out, release it. Don't be afraid to tell them, yeah, they diagnosed me with stage 3. And the doctor said that it may be, a slim chance it may be going into stage 4. Like, just be honest so that they will know how to help you. If you equip them with the information, then they'll know how to help you. But if you're lying and you're hiding information, you're hurting yourself. So you want some people around you that's going to be honest and upfront with you, and it's a two-way street. So just make sure you tell them about your diagnosis, and it relieves you to just get that off your chest, right? To get it off your chest. So you want to, the second thing about the support system is that ask them for help. When you need help, ask for help. And it doesn't matter how often you need it, put enough good people around you to where you're not asking the same people all the time. So make sure that you're asking them for help, and then make sure you're receiving help. When they say, can I help you? Is there anything that you need for me to do? A lot of times we'd be like, no, I'm okay. And you're struggling at home. Don't do that. If they ask you, do you need some help? Then if you have something for them to do, you could say, hey, list 3 things and let them pick one. Or your support system can put together a calendar for you of things that you need done, and then they can put the calendar out. You can get like a closed group on Facebook, and you can invite all the people that you want to inform about what's going on in your life, and you can put a calendar up there, and the person, your support system, can say, hey, she needs help in these areas, sign up and let me know how you can help. And then that way it takes the pressure off you. And the last thing you need to be worrying about is like, oh, I got to go to the grocery store. Oh, I got to go washing, or I got to go pick up the kids from school when you just had surgery. Like, you could designate people to do those things. And believe me, people want to help you. They want to support you. And I'm not talking about those nosy people that just want to see what's going on. And then when you with them, they saying the darndest things to you, oh, girl, you look so sick. You look like you lost so much weight. Girl, you think you're going to make it through this? I know my cousin had cancer and she just died the other day. According to statistics, they say that, you don't live past 5 years. Like, those type of people, you shut them out. You shut them out and do not let them have access to you. You put them at a distance, because you need people that's going to pour into you while you're going through this. Okay. You don't need anybody negative. You need to make sure that you stay focused on healing, and you stay focused on, what are you going to do when you're done with this cancer diagnosis? You don't need anybody trying to make you feel bad about what you're going through. So make sure you're asking for help, and then make sure that you are, you're receiving it. Stop telling people, no, you don't need help, when you do, because you feel it's a sort of shame that comes with having cancer, and you feel helpless. And, women, we're the strong ones. We provide and do everything for everybody else. But when it comes to ourselves, it's like, you can't receive help. So don't do that to yourself, because you're going to need it. It's going to come a time during that cancer diagnosis to where you're going to wear yourself out. And it's just going to be because of the toxins that you put in your body that you are going to need some help. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my daughter, Mylia, helping me with my little girls, just, cooking for them and helping them get ready for school. Just, if it wasn't for her and for my mom, just, just being there as a support to take the load off of me, that would have been added stress on me. And you don't need the added stress when you're going through. That's the last thing you need. There was a day when I was hurting so bad. I had no energy. I was so fatigued from I was in the middle of chemo. And so I had to drop my girls off at school. And I just mustered up enough strength to get in that car to drop them off at school. But guess what? When I got in the car, I couldn't even turn the key. I had no energy to turn the key. Like, how do you have no energy to just turn the key? Like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it to the school. Like, my body, I couldn't do it. So I told my daughter, I can't. Y'all not going to go to school today. And I had to muster up enough strength to get back in the house and lay in the bed. And at that point, one of my friends at the time gave me a book, and the book explained cancer in kids terms. So, because I hadn't told my little girls, I had the 3 little girls I hadn't told yet. I told my 2 oldest, but I hadn't told them yet. So that was the moment. I was waiting for the moment to tell them. So the book that my friend gave me, it explained the cancer terms, in kids terms, and it told them everything that I was going through. And I got out of the car and I told her it's time to read the book. And she got the book and she read the book to them in the car. And then once she read the book to them, they came running out of the car and running in the bed where I was, and they was like, "Mommy, we sorry, we love you," you know. And then they wanted to see my hair, like, because they know the cancer people, they sometimes they lose their hair. They wanted to see my hair. And at that time my hair grew back. It was about probably that short. And so I had them to get a ruler. I'm like, let's measure my hair, like every week, to see how long the hair would get, because I was telling them my hair is going to grow back. You see my hair, right? You see my hair. I'm like, the hair is going to grow back. So, at that point I started letting them in. But, I didn't want them to have that burden of worrying about mommy being sick if mommy's going to be here. But at that point, I couldn't do anything for myself and I couldn't do nothing for them. So I had to let somebody else in. So at the time, I call her my baby girl, but she's the oldest girl. She was there to help me. And I'm just grateful that she was there. So your support system is so vital, and you have to make sure that you're connecting with other people that are going through the same thing that you're going through. Yeah, it's nice to have your friends and your family to talk to, and you think sometimes you think they understand, but it's nothing like somebody that's actually been through what you are going through, or going through it at the same time, where you guys can connect and talk and be like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me. Okay, yeah," and you can discuss how you feel. And then this way, you have somebody that you can share with. Not that you can't really share with your family and your friends, but when you find another person that has the same diagnosis as you, y'all going through the same treatment, and you having some of the same side effects, it's just a connection there. And it's something about and I don't know if it's just breast cancer, but whenever we meet another person with breast cancer, we just instantly like connect. You're like, "Oh, hey, survivor. Oh, she's a warrior." For me, I just kind of instantly connect with those people. And I just make sure that I treat them good. I make them feel good about themselves, and I just let them know how important it is. And I'm glad that they're here. I'm glad that they made it. It's always good to pour into somebody else, but you need to get around some people that's going through the same thing that you're going through. I remember, like, days after I was diagnosed, the American Cancer Society called me and they like, "Hey, you heard you was diagnosed with cancer, and we want to connect you with somebody who had the same diagnosis as you, went through the same treatment as you." And at the time I was like, I just got diagnosed. I don't want to talk to nobody else. I was like, this is not a good time for me. Like I just can't do it right now. And I couldn't, because I didn't want to, I hadn't accepted it yet. So I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I just didn't. So talk about it when you're ready to talk about it, but talk about it. So maybe a week later, they called me back and say, "Okay, are you ready? We have somebody who's willing to talk." So I said, "Okay, go ahead and give her my number." And she called me, and I forgot her name, but she called me, and I think we talked like maybe 3 or 4 times. And we talked about, we had the same diagnosis and we were doing some of the same things. And what she did for me is she just kind of confirmed what I was going through, that I could get through, because she had already been there and she was on the other side of it. And so it's so good to just see, hear, feel, and look at somebody on the opposite side of what you're trying to get through, because sometimes you think you can't make it. Sometimes you just think that, "Oh my God, I'm just not going to make it." And then to see someone who has already made it and they've been through what you've been through, it just gives you that extra push that you need. Your support system is going to give you that emotional support on those days when you just want to break down, on those days when you just feel like, I can't. You need somebody to vent to. You need somebody to release. You need it. Stop trying to hold this in with this Wonder Woman syndrome. Like, release that. Release that. You got plenty of time to be Wonder Woman when you are out of treatment. But this is the time for people to cater to you. This is the time for people to take care of you. This is the time for people to pour into you. Why? Because you have done it for everybody else. So allow people to do it for you. Allow it. Release it. Release it. Your support system is going to advocate for you. Don't you dare go to your appointments by yourself. No, why? Because you have a support system that's there, ready, and able to fight for you, to ask those questions for you. And when you're in that doctor's office and they're telling you stuff, you ain't gonna hear nothing they say. You're gonna block out that you got cancer. And then you ain't hear nothing else they said after that. So you always got to bring somebody with you, whether it's after your mammogram and they trying to give you the results, the first day you start chemo. Don't go by yourself. You need somebody there with you to not only really keep your mind off of what's going on, but just to encourage you along the way. I I had chemo from February through June. Right, the day before my birthday was my last chemo. June 27th of 2014 was my last chemo. So I had somebody to go to all of my chemo appointments with me. Like my mom went to every appointment because she didn't want me. I think she was afraid that I wasn't going to show up. So she made sure that she was there. But sometimes I had two people, sometimes I had three people with me. And every time I was done with chemo, we either went to go eat or we was at the mall. Like we were doing something, and my family members would call and be like, how's she doing? Is she okay? And my mom would be like, we at the mall. Or she'd be like, we out eating. Like, and then that night, like dancing was my therapy. Dancing was my therapy. So every Friday night, I would have chemo every Friday from 9 to 1. And then I would go eat or go to the mall, and I would go home and rest. I would cook for the girls and hang out with them. But then I would go dance on Friday night. That was my therapy. And I would just dance until I think I would get there like 10 o'clock and dance till like maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. That was my therapy. And it was my release. I needed it every Friday. It was so funny. Every Friday I needed it. My Leah said we always went out. We always went out afterwards. Like, and I don't know how that started. It was just because afterwards I didn't feel sick. I didn't feel, I wasn't in any pain. And somebody told me, when you can move, move. So I just made sure that I moved every time that I could. So another reason why your support system is going to be vital to your survivor of cancer is because they can help you to control the stress. Let me tell you, the last thing that you need to do is to be stressed out while you are going through cancer. You don't need it. You don't need it. And don't allow anybody to stress you. And this is why you funnel the information to your support system. Get a designated person that you want to tell the information so people will not continue to come to you and to call you. They will know to get the information from that person because you're going to have enough stuff to worry about than to be allowing anybody to stress you. So at that point, you don't need to be stressed. You need to release it. Release. And number 7 is you don't have to do this alone. Not when you have a support system. You are not alone. And don't even begin to think that you are alone. Yes, you're the one that has the cancer diagnosis. You're the one that's fighting the cancer. But you're not alone. Okay? The people that you have around you are going to be there when you're at your lowest, right? When you don't even want to look at yourself, you're like, oh my God. But they're going to be there and they're going to continue to pour into you. So just know that you don't have to be alone on this journey. You can have some people around you who are going to love you and going to continue to pour into you, all the way up into the day where when they say, you cancer free. And you may still need them. You may still need them after that, just to sometimes you have to remember where you've been and look how far God has brought you, right? So that's how important. And I didn't give you everything why a support system is so vital to you surviving cancer, but that was just a little bit where you can just, if you're going through cancer right now, those 7 things that I gave you will help you so that you won't have to feel like you're on this journey alone, because you're not, and you shouldn't be. And you have people out there that wants to help you, that love you and want to be there for you and want to see you heal and whole. So your support system is vital to you surviving cancer. So thank you for tuning in to my 31 days 31 facts as it relates to breast cancer in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I am Lady ReShell, the author of Take Charge of Cancer and the founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle.